Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to expand this into a weird territory and say, alright, well, completing the square, it seems like you guys have the skill down. You take the middle number, divide it by 2, square it, and put it in there, you're good to go. Completing the square, when I first started teaching, it was this mysterious, crazy, just weird thing, but it really isn't. It really is just a straightforward thing. You do two things. You divide by 2 and square, which you guys are all capable of doing. But when it comes to circles, you're going to get something like this. X squared plus 6x plus 10 plus y squared minus, let's say, 4y plus 12 is equal to 14. No, let's not do 14. Let's do 34. Alright, so now you have this equation, and I'm going to show you how to do this first. So we're going to go step by step on what we need to do here. Our goal, everybody needs a goal, whether it be to serve fries at McDonald's or become an astrophysicist that rivals Stephen Hawking. Our goal is x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared is equal to r squared. That's our goal. Does this equation look anything like that at all? No, it doesn't look like this at all. So we need to do a lot of our math magic. That's horrible. I just went to Disneyland, so I got this whole magical thing in my brain right now because I say it every other word. I have to be nice because I might work for them one day. What you want to do with this is you want to take a look and you want to take into account the two different parts. This part right here, this part right here. Now, the goal is, alright, well, we're going to use our, well, let's just go step by step. The goal is to get it to this, and there's a step-by-step process for doing it. One, I don't want to say get rid of because that's not really mathematic. Move all constants. Do we all know what constants are? Well, what are they then? That's what I thought. I'll talk. Numbers without variables. So what are the constants here? Is this a constant? Is this? Is this? Alright, so we're talking about the number 10, this one, this one, this one. Yes, the 12, and the 34 is also a constant. Move all the constants from the left side of the equal sign to the right side. So I'll put step 1 right here. Now, how do I get rid of 10? It's a plus 10, so we're going to subtract 10 from here. And I'll just do this one step at a time, just so we see one step at a time. So this would be x squared plus 6x plus, I'm going to put a blank there. And the reason why I'm going to put a blank there is because we're going to have to complete the square for both of these. Because this is a square binomial. This isn't. So I need to complete the square in order to get there. Alright, now that's plus y squared minus 4y plus 12 is equal to 24. Now, what's the next constant I have to get rid of? The 12. So subtract the 12 from both sides. Good morning. So I get my x squared plus 6x plus something plus y squared minus 4y plus something is equal to how much? What's 24 minus 12? 12. Alright, now we have to complete the square. So step 2, complete the square for x's and y's. So as long as you're going step by step here, what's the number I'm going to use? We can basically ignore all of this right now. So I'm going to ignore all of that, and what's the number I'm going to use here in order to complete the square for this guy? 6. What do I do with the 6? Divide by 2, which is 3, and 3 squared is equal to 9, so I'm going to get a 9 up there. But if I wanted to, I could say this is x, and that's a positive 3, so it's x plus 3 quantity squared. So I took care of all the x's. So now, are we okay with all the x's? This is the great thing about these little sticky notes, because then I can ignore what's going on here. And all the x's are gone, and now I have to just deal with the y's. What's the number that I have to deal with the y's? Not just 4. Negative 4. What do I have to do to negative 4? Divide it by 2. So whatever number is here, if it's a positive 4, we used a positive 4. If it was plus 4, use a 4. If it was minus 4, use a negative 4. This is going to be a negative 2. This is going to tell me this is going to be y minus 2 quantity squared. But in order to figure out what goes up there, I need to take negative 2 squared. Now here's the nice thing. If it's positive or negative, don't even worry about it. Just square the number. What's 2 times 2? 4. So you just put a 4 up there. It's going to end up being positive no matter what, because a negative times negative is always positive. Alright, so now here's the problem. The problem is we unbalanced the equation. We unbalanced the equation. And the reason why we unbalanced the equation was I added a 9 here, and I added a 4 here. So how do you rebalance the equation? So if I added 9 and 4 to the left, what do I have to do to the right side in order to maintain balance? add the same numbers to the right side. So we started with the 12. The 12 is down there. But what two numbers did I add to the left side? 9 and 4. So basically it goes back to the one rule that you learned in algebra. Whatever you do to the left-hand side, you got to do to the right-hand side. Since we had to introduce two brand new numbers here in order to make sure that we got our perfect squares, we have to add them to the right-hand side as well. So whatever we do to the left, we added a 9 and added a 4. We have to do the right. We have to add a 9 and we have to add a 4. So what's 12 plus 9? Alright, that's 21. 21 plus 4 is 25. So x plus 3 squared plus y minus 2 squared is equal to 25. So my big question for you now is, what's my center? I see x plus 3. Do I use a 3? Remember, we want x minus h. So we want x and we want the opposite of h. So we want the opposite of the number that we see. That's what that minus means. So I have x plus 3, so am I going to use 3 or am I going to use negative 3? Use negative 3. I see y minus 2. Am I going to use negative 2 or plus 2? Positive 2. What? Yep. Always flip them. 100% of the time. You always just flip them. If it's positive 3, we use a negative 3. If it's a negative 2, we use a positive 2. Now, what's my radius? What was that? Not 25. Remember, this guy represents r squared. Yeah, we need the square root of 25, which ends up being 5. So, to kind of sum this all up in a step-by-step process, let me make this a little bit bigger so it looks more dramatic. First, what you want to do is move all coefficients from left to right. Complete the square for the x's. That's right, constants. I was thinking something else. Alright, so move all the constants over. Complete the square for the x's. Complete the square for the y's. Create your x minus h quantity squared and your y minus k quantity squared. Create your radius squared. Create your radius squared by adding whatever numbers that you added to the right hand or to the left hand side to make to complete the square. Add those same numbers to the right. That 9 and that 4 that we came up with, that's what we added to the right. You follow that step-by-step process, you can't lose. And this will be, like I said, up on the website today sometime. So it'll be there for you. Any questions before we quit on this one?